Hello, good afternoon. This is Group 6, and we are Make Chicago Safe Again.
All right, hi. So the first thing we did is we were looking for interesting data on crimes. So what we came across was Chicago's data portal, which has a data set representing all crimes from 2001 to present day. So together, this data set is about 6.5 million rows, representing about a gigabyte and a half on disk. As you can see down here, there's some interesting columns, such as the date of the crime, uh, the primary type, which is a categorical attribute representing what type of crime happened, as well as community area, which is the geographical region within Chicago. One of the first tasks we did was to find the overall trend in crime. What we saw here is that over the 17 and a half years that we examined, the overall crime trend is downwards. Here you can see both a linear and polynomial regression run on that data. One of the other things we did was also to look for outliers within the data. So you can see here there's a log file representing what crimes and what community areas are outliers as far as crime rates within Chicago. Another thing we did was create a correlation matrix of crime data versus various socioeconomic and public health metrics, as you can see here on the GitHub.
And another data mining method that we used in our project is k-means clustering. This is the code that we use to process all the data. First, we try to hard code every file and read, and it didn't work that well. Then we did a more efficient code, and we outputted a new data set that contained the community areas, the total number of crimes per community, and then finally the sum of all crimes. And with that data, we then try to do k-means clustering on Python, but we were unsuccessful, so we ended up using RapidMiner, which we can see here. We basically read the data, used a clustering tool from RapidMiner, and this is our results that it produced. We have a scatter plot with all the communities and their number of crimes, as well as the pie chart. And with all this information, we learned that
there are two distinct pockets of crime in Chicago, and with our clustering method, we were able to understand that there are kind of three different levels of how crime occurs within each community. And the red is the high crime, the blue is the moderate crime, and the green is the low crime. And through this map, we were able to understand that there are two key points in Chicago at which most crime takes place.
And after discovering that there were some specific locations, we decided to do a little investigation into the crime rate change in those areas. One key area was West O'Hare Street, which was the worst crime area in 2001. But thanks to some efforts from Chicago as a whole, they were able to lower the crime rate and keep it lower from that point on. Another area that we looked at was downtown at North State Street, where we can see that the crime was fairly high. It spiked down in 2012, at least in terms of theft, and then rose up significantly after that, which is kind of an example of what happens if you don't attempt to solve any of the crime problems like they did on O'Hare. After that, decided to look into more specific daily and monthly crime rates. Here we can see a plot of the crime rate based on month. We see that it's highest in the summer months. And then looking at a daily crime plot, we've got the highest crime day of the year is the first of the year. And then the highest crime date of each month is the first of each month, which we found interesting and thought might be useful to law enforcement should they know that. The last thing that we tried to do was to heat map and kind of understand the relationships between the different areas and how the crime grew and expanded through the city, which was pretty cool for looking at a citywide aspect of crime, but not so useful when it comes to looking at individual neighborhoods.
So this is a healthy overview of the tools and methods we use to mine this data, and I hope you enjoy it.